Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Today is hay loading day. First off, I've got 29 bales and 2 fields here to load up. Oh, this looks like a good spot. This is a load, 11 bales. Scale of it always amazing. Water in the garden. Are getting shaggy with the orchard grass. Cows don't seem to mind. I got 5 more bales left in this field, and then I'll have to go up in the triangle field and get the last 6 for this load. That completes phase 1 of loading hay into the barn. 33 bales, 5 foot by 5 foot, baled on our farm. Phase 2 requires heading down the road. We gotta adjust some bales here. I don't want to lose them on the road. Nice day for a ride on the tractor. For quite a few years now, I've been supplementing the hay that I make with hay from my neighbors, and this is from the Buck Farm, which is down the road about 2.5 or 3 miles. They make 4x4 bales, so they're about half the volume of the 5x5s that I made. I ordered 50 of these. They were baled yesterday, just like my hay. So we're going to load these into the barn too. Load number 2 is here. I'm kind of tired. Too tired for a joke? No. What did Spartacus say when the lion ate his wife? What did Spartacus say? Nothing. He was gladiator. I got great news. It rained almost a ½ inch last night. That'll get the hay restarted. Those fields will start growing again, come right back. And there's rain in the forecast every day this week after today. Now the bad news is I didn't finish yesterday. I was too tired to do the last load. That's right. This is Dave Buck, my neighbor. I always mention going down the road for this or that. Well, it's Dave and his two sons, Adam and Darren, that I'm going to see, and that's where I bought the hay, and this is Dave. Dave, how long has your family lived on this land?
1804.
1804.
Yep.
That's quite a history.
It is.
How many acres was the original farm, do you know?
We originally started it back in the early 1800s. My one set of grandparents over on that side, their fathers and like that, we were up to around 800 acres.
Anyway, I'll put a face to the name, so I wanted to introduce Dave.
We've been good friends, our family, for a long time.
Yep. Yep, same road. Both been here over 200 years.
Know so many of your family, know so many of our family.
It's good to have roots.
And it's nice to work together.
Yep.
It really is.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
I'm very happy to have all this hay in the barn so early in the season. This side is last year's hay to be used first this winter. There's about 3 months here, 90 days. And this is the hay that I just put in. There's about 140 days worth of hay on this side. I am of the belief that you always want to have lots of hay on hand, and I learned that through experience. One year we ran out of hay in March and nobody around us had any hay for sale. I had to hunt and hunt, and then I finally found small squares for $5 a bale. We spent a lot of money that year feeding our cattle through the pasture season. Hay is cheap at first cutting. At the end of winter, after a dry summer, it's not cheap. So I packed the barn early, and then anything I get on top of this is a bonus. I'm thankful to live in a community of farmers where I can just go down the road to multiple sources and get help and advice and hay when I need it. Here's some statistics from making the 10 acres of hay that I made. Everybody always asks, how much fuel did you burn? I burned roughly 30 to 35 gallons combined of diesel and gasoline, making and hauling all this hay into here. The 756 fuel gauge started on full. I filled it up before I started cutting, and now it stands at halfway. So that gives you an idea of how much fuel I use to cut and bale that hay. The tank is somewhere around 30 gallons on that tractor, 30, 35 gallons. So there's an idea of fuel, not as much as you might think. It took me 48 hours from cut to bale on this hay, and then the next day loading it in the barn. There was no worries about moisture content in this hay because it was such great drying weather, not terribly hot, but bright sun, good wind, low humidity made up for that. In the old days, and I say old days like when I was a kid, first cutting hay took a minimum of 4 days to dry without the use of crimper rollers on the hay bine, which crimp the stalks and allow moisture to escape more quickly, and without the use of the tedder, the drying time is extended dramatically. And I do it as one person without ever really having to handle the hay by hand like the old small squares. It's changed completely from when I was a kid, and I'm thankful for that. Hillary and I started doing hay the way that I did it when I was a kid when we started this farm. Sickle bar, rake, baler, small square baler, and it was a lot of work. I am very thankful for technology and the way things have changed. What else who runs the drone? I run the drone. That's probably the most frequently asked question. The drone's got all kinds of automatic modes. So sometimes, yes, I'm controlling the drone while I drive the tractor for far away and zooming shots, but when it's kind of hovering around me, the drone's doing that by itself. There's no other operator. It's a one-man show. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll be making a little more hay, but this is probably at least 90% of my cutting for the year, including what I purchased. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and folks are sure to ask, how much were these bales that I bought? I don't know. The neighbor and I will work it out, but around here, these size bales run $30 up to $40. I'll probably be someplace in there when we settle up.